Classification of symbols for the consonants. We have symbols are classified in 3 ways. 1, voiced or unvoiced. We have fully voiced, in which the vocal folds are engaged and pitch can be sustained. We have partially voiced, in which the vocal folds are engaged, pitch cannot be sustained. And then we have the unvoiced consonants, in which there is no pitch formed by the vocal folds and the vocal folds are not engaged. So, the bilabial, and then we have the points of articulation, which is what 2 parts of the articulators, the voice, the lips, the teeth, and the tongue, are contacting. Then we have the manner of articulation, which is how is the air flowing through the articulators. So our points of articulation include bilabial, 2 lips, bilabial. In German, we have the partially voiced b, p, and the fully voiced m. You can sing on that sound. The labiodental consonants in German are your fricative v, which is fully voiced, your f, and your pf, which are unvoiced. So f and pf are unvoiced. Your dental consonants, we have already talked about briefly. The fully voiced z, the unvoiced s, and then the fully voiced l, because you can sing on it. The alveolar consonants in German are d, your partially voiced d, d, your unvoiced t, your fully voiced n, your partially voiced flipped r, 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 and your unvoiced ts, 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 ts. Your prepalatal consonants, which are the tip of the tongue and right between the alveolar ridge and the hard palate, there at the front of the hard palate, are your esh and your affricate ch. Both of those are unvoiced. Your prepalatal consonant, which is up into, most people would say it's sort of near the front of the hard palate, are your partially voiced y, your yot, and your ich laut, which is fully unvoiced. The velar consonants, we have the middle of the tongue hitting right at the velar conjunction between the hard palate and the soft palate, where the bone stops and things become soft. So we have our partially voiced g, our unvoiced k, the k, the monkey tail n, the ng sound, ing, and then the ach laut. Again, the ach laut will be velar. It's not ach at the back of the tongue. It is velar, so it is right here under the corner of the eye. Our glottal sounds will be the partially voiced glottal stop. It employs the vocal folds, so therefore it is partially voiced. And our unvoiced h, the manner of articulation, the stop, or a plosive, which is a momentary closure of the airflow passage. So the air gets dammed up momentarily and then releases forward. So we have our partially voiced b, b, our unvoiced p, partially voiced d, our unvoiced t, our partially voiced g, our unvoiced k, and our partially voiced glottal stop. The fricative is air moving past a set of articulators with friction. Remember, fricative equals friction. So we have our fully voiced v, we have our unvoiced f, fully voiced z, our unvoiced s, our unvoiced esh, our unvoiced h, our unvoiced ich laut, and our unvoiced ach laut. Okay, that is not voiced. Ach, that's not vocal folds engaged. That sound is created by movement through the air passage. The affricate is a combination of a plosive plus a fricative. So there is a momentary stop followed by airflow moving through with friction. So we have our T plus esh is a ch. It will always be a combination symbol. Our P plus an F, which is pf, pfanner, and our T plus an S, which is ts, as in ts, 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 ts. Our nasal articulators are your M, where the lips are closed, so the sound is going through the nasal passage. The N, again, the airflow goes through the nasal passage, and your NG, your monkey tail, The lateral in German, the only lateral we will use is the L, where air is moving along the sides, the lateral edges of the tongue. The glide is where vocalized tone is moving past a set of articulators, but without friction. So unlike the fricative, there is no friction on this one. So the y, yot. The trill, or is the tip of the tongue tapping against the alveolar ridge. We will use the flipped R in German. R, r, r.